Flying through the galaxy with supernova energy under pressure. Together we're so much better, you know. And if a shooting star across the sky tonight, we'd be superheroes.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Frontline. Jay here with another comic book review. Today I'm reviewing Original Sin number 0. The title of this issue is Who is the Watcher? It is written by Mark Waid with pencils by Cheung and Paco Medina. There are a bunch of people on the inks. I'm not going to name them all though. And this issue is about Nova going to ask the Watcher why he watches everyone. What's he doing it for? And we find out why Uatu appeared to him back in the first issue of Nova. This issue starts off with almost as Nova. We're told that, you know, the main characters are going to be the Watcher and Nova, but it starts off as like a Nova book. You'll think that this is a Nova book when you first pick it up, because the first couple pages is Nova retelling his origin, how his father was this alcoholic who told these grand stories about being in the Nova Corps, and he never believed them. And then one day he just upped and left, leaving only behind this helmet. And when he put it on, he became Nova, and he realized his father actually wasn't lying, and how he met Uatu, the Watcher. Then it goes back to present day, where he's fighting this Aztec being called Tomazuma, or Tamazuma, however you want to pronounce that. And he says that he's the living totem. Nova figures out that throughout the battle that this isn't really a being, it's just a robot who's at this oil field and it's attacking different oil fields and all that. And he smashes it, destroys the robot, just as the Avengers arrive, and Nova does his little hero pose so he can get, you know, some accolades from the Avengers. Cap and Iron Man tell him, you know, great job and all this, but Nova is like looking around, and they ask him, are you expecting someone else? And he was like, yeah, the big guy who lives on the moon, the Watcher. And he's like, I'm just surprised he isn't here. And they're like, are you kidding? You know, this is the guy who watches things. He does things on a cosmic level, where if he arrives and he says something, it's a big deal. You know, life and death, end of universe type stuff. Why would he be here for this? And then they explain, you know, that he watches, he doesn't interfere, that he studies activities at billion pages, races, and Nova asks the question, as any kid his age would, how come? And it stumps them. And they're like, well, he's like, well, is there like a test, or, you know, is he about to wage a war? You know, what's going on? And Captain America's like, you know, we never ask. So Nova goes to ask. And he brings Uatu this little present, which is a rock from the ground, where the Avengers and the X-Men defeated the Phoenix. Uatu, you know, starts to walk in his citadel, not speaking as he always does, and Nova follows him, thinking this is what he wants. And his helmet, Nova's helmet, kind of reacts like Spider-Man Spider Sense does, tells him that it's danger, but he doesn't know what it's saying. So it's just, he has that feeling of danger, and it's ringing in his head. You know, his head is like ringing, and he knows that there's danger, but he doesn't know why. And then he walks in his room, and he sees all these like phantom Uatus all around, while the real Uatu is there. Then they disappear, and he finds Uatu on this platform watching a screen. And when Nova gets there, the screen changes, and he starts to see the history of the Watchers. He sees a young Uatu and Uatu's father are before the council of Watchers, telling them that, you know, it's our responsibility to reach out and aid the lesser races. While another Watcher is arguing the opposite standpoint, saying, no, we do not need to interfere. Our place is not to interfere. The council, though, agrees with Uatu's father, and they go out to the universe and they find a race. They give them nuclear power, and in 10 years, their world's thriving, their society's thriving. No disease, no poverty, everything's peachy keen, technology is so advanced, it's great. So they're like all proud of themselves, and they leave to go around the universe. They stop back about 100 years or so, and they find the planet is destroyed. They destroyed each other by having nuclear war. They used the gifts that the Watcher gave them, and they destroyed each other. They went into petty war, and right there, Owatu's father's like, this was our gift. Our gift did this to them. We were wrong. We need to not do this. We just need to chronicle stuff and let them do what they want to do. We don't need to interfere anymore. And they set out again to the universe, this time with a new mission. And Nova realizes, wow, that's a lot to do. What exactly do you do? And Uatu shows him, he doesn't just do Earth and the Milky Way galaxy. He does like all of reality, every alternate Earth, every timeline, anything that's conceivable that could happen. He watches and he learns. And Nova asks him, but why? Why? And he's trying to process all this, and it's like hurting his head because no human should ever process this much information into their head. And then he notices one thing in each timeline is consistent. Uatu's father makes the same mistake in every single timeline. And he realizes, Uatu and him have something in common. They both wanted their dads to be right. And that's their connection, that's probably why Uatu sought out Nova in the very beginning, because he felt that connection to Nova. And Nova's like, I know you probably know what happened to my father. I don't want you to tell me anything, but I know I got other responsibility to do at home. But I will go out and look for my father. And he keeps like wanting to ask, but he doesn't ask him. And Uatu knows, and he just says, he is alive. And with that, Nova flies out all excited that his father is alive. He's like, he's alive! And Uatu puts down the rock onto like a shelf and goes away. The story on this is really good. Mark Waid, the guy is a genius. He got to the emotional part of the story right away. At first you think, oh, this is just a Nova story, like I said. But then you get to the core of not just Uatu, not just Nova, but like what Nova series has been doing since the beginning. Why was Uatu there? We all thought it was because maybe Nova had something big in the cosmic plans and all that. And we were wrong. It's more human than that. It's more relatable, and we get this cosmic truth that no matter what you are, where you are, the impact of a father-son relationship is universal. It doesn't just affect humans. It doesn't just affect Sam, Alexander, and Nova. It affects every being. That relationship that a father and a son have. And it hits you in spots where you didn't think that this story would go. And I really love that writing. So for the writing, I give this story 5 stars. It's perfect. I just love this story. I was going to give it maybe 4.5 stars because it did start off with Nova, but the ending, it really gets to you because of Owatu's a stoic character, and now you know why he is who he is. And I think that's something that's really touching, and especially for the reasons that they stated, and the reason why he sought out Sam Alexander, and why they had this bond. The art, I really like the art. I think the art is well done. It brings the youthful energy of Nova. You know, this feels like a Nova book. It doesn't feel like you're reading, just an original Sin book. This really does feel like it has the Nova qualities, but without the cartoonish Watcher. So the Watcher and the other heroes are really well done also. Cheung and Paco Medina, they do a great job collaborating on this. The Avengers look very heroic and everything. So I'm gonna give the art 4.5 stars, and I'm gonna give this overall book 4.5 stars because the story was really great and the art could be just a little bit more detailed, but it really fit the story and really fit the characters. So I really like that, and I recommend picking it up. If you're not going to get Original Sin, or you're tiptoeing around if you're going to get it, pick it up. I think this makes you want to get Original Sin, and if not, it at least tells a real good human story on a cosmic level. Well, those are my thoughts. Now I want to know what yours are in the comments below. Also, like this video, subscribe to Comic Frontline, check out and subscribe to my channel, The Comic Book Theater. Check out Comic Frontline, the site, for all the latest previews, reviews, news, and interviews. For even more news on all things related to comics, comicrelated.com is your source for all your comic book needs with daily updates. And don't forget to like and follow me and Comic Frontline on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. I'll include all these links in the description below. Until then, I'll catch you in the next review.